Hello fight fans and welcome back to a new video. When speaking about MMA wrestling, one of the first fighters that comes to mind is Khabib Nurmagomedov. No one has yet been able to find a solution to avoid the wrestling of the Dagestani superstar. In this video I will analyze and break down the cage work of Khabib and how he uses the cage to his advantage, and then how he keeps the fight on the ground. The sport of mixed martial arts has grown, and these days one martial art to your arsenal won't get you very far. Many people criticize the striking of Khabib and tend to say that Khabib only has good wrestling, which I obviously do not agree upon. The striking of Khabib may not be the best one in the world of MMA, but is highly effective because his striking works often as a setup to his entries for takedowns, which are in my opinion what MMA is all about. To be able to mix wrestling with the striking and vice versa. However, Khabib has been able to win a lot of rounds in the UFC without necessarily getting the fight to the ground. But we can all agree that the bread and butter in Khabib's arsenal is his wrestling. The game of Khabib involves a lot of pressure and feints to back his opponents to the cage, and when having the opponents to the cage, he will then use his boxing as a setup to his takedown entry. And this is really where the mastermind of Khabib comes to place. And with that being said, let's jump right into the analysis. In this sequence against Edson Barbosa, Khabib is overwhelming Barbosa with his pressure and striking. As soon as Barbosa has his back against the fence, then immediately Khabib uses his boxing as a setup to his entry for the double leg against the cage. Barbosa digs the underhook with his right arm immediately to prevent Khabib from locking his hands and finishing the double leg. But at this point, Barbosa is just exhausted, and Khabib, being the wrestler he is, can easily switch and go for an outside trip to get Barbosa to the ground. When Barbosa gets to the ground, Khabib then switches to a bodylock, which gives Khabib the control over Barbosa and makes it hard for Edson Barbosa to stand back up. Khabib then lets go of the bodylock in order to land some strikes, and that's when Barbosa is able to stand back up again. In this second sequence against Barbosa, they are in an over-under position against the fence, and again Khabib goes for the bodylock despite not having the double underhooks. Khabib then goes for a hip throw, but then switches his takedown attempt by hooking the leg of Barbosa and dragging him to the ground. Once they are in the ground, Khabib takes immediately control over the right arm of Barbosa, which is in this case his only defense of not ending up flat on the ground. Once Khabib pulls the arm in, then Barbosa is flat on the ground and is defenseless. But take a close look at the body of Khabib while doing this. He never let go of the leg of Barbosa, and keeps his body tight to the body of Barbosa and applying good head position in order to prevent Barbosa from exploding to a better position. Khabib then gets closer to Barbosa so he can land some ground and pound, but this time Khabib will lock the leg of Barbosa in a triangle, so he won't be able to move when Khabib starts to land his shots. The fight against Conor, we can see that Khabib is yet again using his boxing and pressure to back down Conor to the fence, and as Conor is throwing his uppercut, then Khabib ducks under it and goes for another double leg against the cage. And as Conor is trying to frame and push the head of Khabib in order to make it hard for him to complete the takedown, Khabib will then switch to a high crouch and lift Conor and slam him on the ground. As soon as Conor hits the ground, Khabib will put a good head position to the chest of Conor and will immediately take control of the legs of Conor by putting them into another triangle, so Conor can neither stand up or play guard. Khabib will then rotate Conor so he cannot use the cage to his advantage in order to get back up to his feet, and will slowly move up and mount Conor. Khabib will then threaten with an arm triangle, but Conor recognized it, so Khabib let it go and landed a beautiful elbow instead. My fourth and final sequence I will break down, guys, is the fight against Dustin Poirier. Here you will see Khabib going for the double leg, and as he goes for the takedown, he will push Dustin to the fence. This was a very explosive takedown, and you can clearly see that Dustin thought Khabib was going to strike, because he takes his hands up to defend himself, and because of that, he did not manage to spread his legs and get ready to dig for underhooks, which led to an easy double leg takedown for Khabib. Dustin then tries a guillotine choke, but lets it go just as fast. Khabib then goes back to his bodylock and will also rotate Dustin so he cannot use the fence to get back up. Dustin then tries to wall walk, but Khabib recognizes it and stops it by putting his knee on Dustin's belly. Dustin tries to scramble to a better position, but Khabib makes Dustin carry his weight, which makes Dustin exhausted, and he can easily with his arm around the leg of Dustin put himself in a better position. Dustin then tries to get to the fence so he can try to get back up to his feet, but Khabib has already locked the legs of Dustin in a triangle, and now Khabib starts to land his ground and pound. At this point, Dustin is just exhausted and overwhelmed by the pressure and transitions of Khabib. The wrestling of Khabib is just beautiful to watch, and the fact that Khabib has so many ways of getting his opponents to the ground is one of the reasons why he is so dominant. When his opponents are defending one takedown, then Khabib will switch to another takedown and catch them off guard. Khabib uses trips, double legs, single legs, and is a master of using the cage to his advantage, and is very good on keeping his opponents on the ground, locking their hand and legs so they cannot move and applying tremendous pressure and weight on his opponents while they are struggling to catch their breath. Khabib would then slowly beat them up and eventually look for a submission. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like this kind of video, be sure to subscribe, share, and smash the like button. If you want me to break down something special, comment in the section below. Thank you all for watching, and until next time.